long time no see. Every time I think life is going to get back to normal, something happens. I get a curveball thrown in there. So, I was last telling you guys, I should have watched my videos. I think the last time I told you guys that we had just came off of a wonderful family trip to Las Vegas. It was a rescheduled birthday trip for my dad. Because in April, he ended up in ICU for 4 days. Well, I think the day after I posted that is I ended up taking him to the emergency room, and it was the fastest we've ever gone into the emergency room. What the heck is this? Like a little golden nugget or something in here. I have no idea what that is. It was the fastest that they've ever gotten him in. So I took him straight to the emergency room, and like everything happened so fast. So as soon as I got him in, within minutes they called him back, and we went to the back, and a nurse saw him. Well, the nurse was like, "What are you here for?" And he kind of could tell, and he's like, "Okay." I had a bottle of water in my hand, and he's like, "Okay, whatever you do, don't give him anything to eat or drink. He's probably gonna need surgery." I've never gone into the emergency room, and before they've even taken any vitals, have I ever had a nurse say, that he's probably gonna need surgery. So I thought that was really like unusual. I'm like, okay, doctor hasn't even seen him to like make the call. The nurse is like saying it already. I just thought that was weird because that's just never happened before. So, the nurse takes his vitals and is like, okay, let's go straight to go get an x-ray. So we got an x-ray. We got back to the room, and things were just happening very quickly that I didn't even have time to like update my mom and my brother, because it was just like bam, like go. There was even times where like the nurse and the doctor were in there because they both needed like our attention. So it was wild. So that night in the emergency room, he ended up getting the x-ray and EKG. A doctor came in to basically like evaluate him. The different doctor came in right away and was like, "No, we're just going to like straight admit you." So yeah, just everything was happening all at once. And then my aunt, who is 85, I tell you, I'm very close with my aunts, tried calling me at the same time that the doctor was in there. So I actually was like, "I need 5 seconds, give me 1 second." And he was like, "Okay," but you could tell like he was like, "Girl, like hurry up, like don't take long," because he even like did like a little countdown, like 5, 4, like being funny, And I just texted my mom really fast. I was like, "Hey, my aunt's trying to call me. Can you call her and let her know like I can't talk right now because I'm with dad in the ER." So then that was that. So I was like, okay. So I was like done in like less than 5 seconds, right? I was really quick. And the doctor was just talking to us. So then I get a text back from my mom, but I didn't look at it right away because the doctor was in there. So I just kind of like ignored it. Well, apparently my aunt was calling me because my other aunt, who is 90, ended up in the hospital at the exact same time, but a different hospital. They have different insurance, so she was at a different hospital. So my aunt was just calling to let me know. So yeah, like everything was just all happening at once. So in the end, my dad, like I said, wasn't admitted. I took him like midday, and I left at about 9 o'clock because they were gonna go take him for an MRI, and they said that was gonna take about like 45 minutes to an hour. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna go ahead and head home and just call me if anything happens. So I leave, and the next day they end up doing surgery on my dad, the same thing that they did literally almost to the day a year ago. So if you guys have been with me for a while, the last time my dad had surgery last year, it was a 9-month recovery of like bed rest, really awful recovery, in the fact that he couldn't like do anything for himself. So I was just dreading it. Like I was so not looking forward to him having the same surgery and having a long recovery. And they said, well, if it took him 9 months last time, it will more than likely take him just as long this time, which I was like, oh, great. So they did surgery. The next day they wanted to take him back in for surgery again, and they couldn't fit him on the schedule. This time he did not have any crazy blood clotting problem like he did last time. Thank God for that. They still don't know what happened last time, that he was just clotting like crazy and it was weird, and he didn't have it this time. So that was a big relief with that. So they wanted to do surgery the following day. They couldn't because they were just nowhere on the schedule to fit him in, so he didn't have surgery. And then on day 3 he ended up going back in for surgery again. Now on that time, when he came out of the first surgery, which was like the big major surgery, he came out fine. He got out, he was talking, he was hungry, he wanted to go home. They're like, you just had massive surgery, you can't leave. Like, no, you know, we think we're gonna do surgery tomorrow, so you still can't eat. And he's like, I feel fine, I'm ready to go home, like, get me out of here. And they were like, no, you can't. So, the next day they couldn't have surgery, so then it was the day after that. So this whole time he doesn't get to eat, right? Because they're just like, we're gonna squeeze you into the operating room when we get one open. So he hasn't eaten in a couple of days. So finally the 3rd day they end up doing surgery, and that was supposed to be like a little baby tinkering type surgery, and that one he was just not good. You know, he just wanted to sleep. He was like very out of it, very groggy. When he got out of surgery, I asked the doctor, when will he be discharged? And he was like, you know, probably Saturday or Sunday. This was on a Friday. And I was like, okay. So I left because my dad, like I said, was just out of it, and he just wanted to sleep. Like, he didn't even care about eating. He was finally able to eat. He didn't want to eat. He didn't care. He's just like, leave me alone, let me sleep. Even in trying to talk to him, he was hard to understand. He was just like very like mumbly, like if he was like super like drunk, I guess you would say, just like slurring his words, just mumbling, just hard to understand. So I ended up leaving in the evening, and I was like, hey, you know, I'm gonna go home and, you know, check on Sonny and give him dinner and stuff. And then I get a call from my dad again, like all jumbly, saying that he's going home. And I'm like, no, you know, I was there, I talked to your surgeon, and no, you're not going home. So then I waited a little bit and nobody called me. So then I ended up calling and the nurse's station, and they're like, oh yeah, you know, the regular like hospital doctor cleared him to go home because his labs came back and he can go home. And I'm like, no, there's just no way, like he's still out of it, like I'm not taking him home. And they're like, well, you need to come pick him up. And I'm like, absolutely not, like he is out of it, he seems like he's still under anesthesia, you know, and are you gonna carry him up the stairs? Because I'm not gonna break my back trying to carry him up our stairs. Like, he needs to be able to be strong enough to help me get him up the stairs and in the house. You know, I can't carry him. There's just no way. And I know he's supposed to be on bed rest, but still, you know what I mean? Like, I need a little bit of, like, he can't be dead weight, which is basically what he was gonna be if I would have taken him home. So, I was mad at her because she ends up hanging up on me. And I was like, wow, I was not even pissed. I was not even rude, you know. So now I'm really pissed. Now I'm like, oh, now I'm really going to be rude that, you know, you just like dismiss me and hang up on me. So I end up calling back, and I was not happy. I was like, did you just hang up on me, you know? And she's like, well, this was gonna get nowhere. I told you you need to come pick him up, and that was that. And I'm like, okay, but you don't hang up on me. Like, what is wrong with you? So she ends up passing the phone to the doctor, who was the regular Meadow doctor that like discharged him, and was like, oh, you know, he's good to go. The labs came back. Like, he can go. I'm like, can he stand? Like, are you gonna come to my house and carry him up the stairs? Like, no, you know, I don't feel safe taking him home with the way that he is. And if he falls, then I'm going to end up calling the ambulance to take him right back to the hospital. You know, I don't feel comfortable, you know, taking him home when he's like clearly out of it. Like clearly anesthesia has not worn off. Like, no. So he's like, fine, we'll keep him until tomorrow morning. So then, yeah, early in the morning, my dad called me and says like, hey, you know, the nurse came in here and said that, you know, they're going to send me home. So start heading over here. And I was already actually getting ready because I had a feeling, you know, that they were going to call and do that. So I was up early and getting ready. Anyways, when my dad had called me, I was going to try to have some breakfast before I left. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. You know, I'll just go ahead and head on over there. So I head on over there and they basically say like, you know, you need to go get him antibiotics from downstairs in the pharmacy. So I did that. And then I went back upstairs and like, okay, you know, he's good to go. So, I went to get the car and they sent, you know, this girl like pushing him out in a wheelchair. And I had asked, I said, what is the treatment for his wound? And I couldn't remember the last time if I immediately started changing his dressing, like where his stitches were or not. I couldn't remember. And, you know, the girl looked at the little discharge packet that she had printed out for me. She's like, oh, you know, there's no orders here. You know, you just follow up with the doctor, you know, in a week. And I was like, okay. So I took him home and that was Saturday. And I was like, I don't think that's right. You know, and Monday was Memorial Day. So I called the surgeon's office and, you know, I couldn't get through to them. You know, they said their department was closed for the day due to the holiday. And I was like, okay, that sounds weird. So I ended up calling like the general, like 1-800 number, and they look it up and they're like, no, you should have been given dressings and instructions on how to, you know, care for his wound, or a wound nurse should have been assigned to go to your house and do it. And I'm like, great. And I'm like, and I asked. So again, I'm mad, right? Because I'm like, I asked and that nurse was just being an a-hole, you know? So I'm like, I can't believe this. So, I ended up complaining because I was like, you know, she hung up on me. She didn't give me any discharge, you know, dressings or like go buy this at the pharmacy. Like I have no problem going to the pharmacy and paying for supplies, but that's what the insurance is for. His insurance is good. I usually don't have to pay for anything. But yeah, I wasn't told anything or given, you know, discharge paperwork with instructions on what to do. So I did end up speaking to somebody. Somebody did call me. Because like I said, I was pissed at how things went down. So somebody did call me. I did speak to somebody and like put in a complaint about everything. Not sure if anything's gonna happen, but you know, just let them know what had happened. And I did send an email to his surgeon, who is really good and was not happy either at how things went down. So that's where we are with that. I don't know where I got jumping from. But yeah, once I got him home, everything's been okay. He has been doing way better this time. Like once the anesthesia wore off, like on Saturday, he's like, even when I brought him home, he was still like a little like fuzzy and couldn't think clearly. But by the end of like Saturday night, he was fine. Sunday for sure, he was good. And he seems to be doing so much better this time than last time. So fingers crossed this will not be a 9-month recovery and he will be much, much better. My aunt that is 90, she got out of the hospital before he did. They were just having difficulties with her. They thought she might have like thrown a blood clot. Apparently she didn't. So they monitored her for a few days and they sent her home. She's done a couple more tests and it just seems like they kind of like regulated out her medication and she seems to be doing better. So her birthday did just pass, so she's now officially 90. And I did go spend the day with her on her birthday. So that was really nice and she was really happy, you know, to be home and to have us all there. So that was really, really nice. So yeah, that's basically the life update of what's been going on around here and why I haven't really been posting. Like every time I think, you know, things are going to get back to normal and I can be back to making videos for you guys, something happens, you know. So this is what's been going on here. Hopefully now I will be able to get back to making videos. The other problem too is, you know, when you're just like stressed and running around and doing a million things at once, it's very easy to not feel very creative or like motivated, or at least it is for me. And that's kind of where I've been too. I've been kind of like in a little like crafty funk also, where I'm just not feeling very creative. And on top of, you know, trying to see my aunt that was in hospital, trying to see and take care of my dad. My mom had doctor's appointments, and my other aunt, who is 85, had doctor's appointments. So I was in the middle of running them back and forth as well. So there was one day where like went to the hospital, checked on my dad, he had surgery, left there, took my mom to an appointment, you know, went to go visit my other aunt to get her to her appointment. So yeah, it's just like a lot of like running around and just craziness, so that by the time I get home, I don't feel creative, I don't feel like crafting, and all that I want to do is like eat food and like watch a movie with Sunny and just, you know, relax or take a nap. Because if you guys have been with me for a while, you guys know I have problems sleeping at night. So this stress and, you know, having to be up early for things just is not helping my sleeping either. So yeah, hopefully things will get back to normal. I keep saying that, and you know, I just, yeah, I gotta believe, right? Gotta believe that things are going to calm down and we are going to be good to go to get back to our regular programming around here. So that's basically what's been going on with me. This video is very long now. Thank you guys just for letting me do my little therapy sessions with you guys, because that's what this really is. I know it's not crafting, but it's very therapeutic and helpful for me to just like talk these things out with you guys and just not feel alone. Like, I know I have like my mom and Sunny to talk to, but sometimes I just need to talk and be in my own world. And thank you guys for your prayers and just letting me ramble and listen. It really, really means a lot to me. So that's our little video for today. In between here, I did go to Hobby Lobby. I did do a YouTube short of what was on clearance in the sticker section. So if you have not seen that short, just go look on my channel. So there is clearance in the sticker section, in the home decor section, and in the candles at Hobby Lobby. So run over there if you are interested in that. I did check the paper, and the paper was not on clearance at my store. So if it's gone on clearance at your store, please let me know down in the comments, because I have been waiting for that to go on clearance. So I think that's it for a little update. Oh, somebody, oh, I can't remember. Somebody told me that there is clearance at Michael's, and I have not gone to go check that out. I just was told today, so I might head over there, you know, maybe a day after I drop off my dad at dialysis. I could run over there. So if you are near a Michael's, check out their paper crafting section, because apparently they got some stuff going on over there also. So all right, guys, we'll see you later. Bye, guys.